Ever took a foreign language class in school?
I probably took a bilingual class or something.
High school, middle school?
Really both. I wasn't really paying attention though. I was kind of, I had the girls doing my work, just making it work for me.
What do you remember? What middle school you went to? What high school you went to?
Yeah, Lanier Middle School, CEP, and Jack Yates High School. We were ranked #1 in the nation when I was there.
In what?
In basketball.
Did you play as well?
Nah, I played football and ran track, but I was at all their games though, popping my shit with them, man. Shout out Coach Wise too, man. He wanted me to play, but I went to a predominantly black school, so the coaches wasn't really in agreement on players playing both sports. I was kind of, in the middle of, shit. When basketball season come around, I want to be in the streets a little bit since I'm taking football serious. So, I mean, it was me.
How far did you get with sports?
I went to Grambling State on a track scholarship. Ended up catching a couple of cases. They cut me short. Sent me back to the hood. I ended up getting on the radio on their ass in a couple of months, So I was blessed. I turned a tragedy situation, into, a fortunate situation.
Was that freshman year, sophomore year, junior year?
Yeah, my
year?
first year. My first year I got kicked out. I was selling a little smoke, just trying to, stay active with myself mentally. And it just ain't worked for me because I was trying to do right and wrong, and it just ain't mixed. And on the back end, I was still doing music in my dorm room. Some days wake up, don't even, realize I'm at school. I'm, done brought the streets with me. Then I'm doing music, so it's like I was occupied and down to all the days I was there. Like some days I realized, like, boy, you need to go to class. Boy, you need to, pay for this, pay for that. But on the back end, like I say, I enjoyed the experience, just seeing the world bigger than my block, bigger than where I'm from in Houston.
Looking back, do you regret that situation at all?
Nah, I feel like, man, that going there kept me alive. I mean, cause it was a bad time in my city in 2010 where a lot of, the murder rate had rose. So I feel like I jumped the city at the right time to really, go find myself.
What kind of kid were you in class? How would you describe yourself, overall speaking, when you went to school?
Man, I'll say I was like one of them people that was a class clown but had the potential to be like, one of the best students in the class.
And where did being a class clown stem from?
I mean, it really wasn't even no class clown. I mean, I always had a different type of energy, when I was young. Like, I mean, I make little jokes and shit, and just, try to keep school fun, cause, when you're a kid, that should be boring to you, cause they be teaching you all that dumbass shit, and all you really need in life to survive is numbers, man, and some common sense. So it's like, and I understood that at an early age, man. All this shit they teaching me, man, I ain't even gonna use this shit when I get grown. So, on the back end, man, I always kept, school, fun for the people I was around.
I know sometimes when it comes to class clowns, there could be different reasons why people become that. Sometimes people are just naturally funny. Sometimes maybe there's an issue one has with themselves, so they'll joke on themselves before others joke on them. And then, sometimes class clowns can lead to bullying. So I didn't know if that was the case with you on any of these.
Nah, I mean, when I say class clown, I was just, I was flamboyant, man. I was the one that the teacher loved, and she still might got to kick me out because I'm doing, a little extra, I might be throwing something across the room, you know, middle school, you know, I got sent to alternative school, you know, just doing a little extra, man. I wasn't never no disrespectful kid. I just, you know, like I said, a little class clown, man. I wanted to keep the energy in the room. No disrespect to my teachers or nothing. It was just, shit, we're going to have some fun and enjoy this shit over here.
You got expelled at one point, though, to have to enter alternative school?
Yeah, man, they kicked me out. They
What?
sent me to see.
What led to that, or what happened there?
Man, I got kicked out about 5 times back to back to back. I broke a little record in middle school. Shit, Monday they kicked me out. Wednesday they let me back in school. Wednesday I get kicked out. Monday they let me back in school. I get kicked out. They try to let me back in school one more time. I get kicked out. My mama, them, you know, she was going crazy. Turned me over to my auntie. You know, I started going, you know, moved over with my auntie across town. Went to a school that I wasn't even supposed to go to, man. I went to my rival school in high school. I'm from 3rd Ward. I went to the school that we really arch rivals with and got kicked out of there. So I ended up having to go back to Jack Yates, man, where I say we were #1 in the nation at. But it wasn't, like I say, man, I feel like, you know, all that shit, it wasn't no I was dumb, I wasn't bad. I was just one of them kids. I was raised by a hustler, so everything around me, you know, it made me, you know, kind of act out and be different.
Could any of this stuff been avoided?
Shit.
The times you did get kicked out? The times you did
Hell
get expelled?
yeah, decisions, baby. That's what decisions come in at, man. Everything can be avoided, but, you know, the move you go with, that's where the results gonna come from.
Were you part of a certain crowd back then?
I mean, shit, I always been one deep, man. I always, you know, been part of my hood, been part of my partners, been part of my family, but I always move, you know, by myself.
You did do athletics. You did football and track.
Right on.
And you did varsity in both of those at some point?
Hell yeah.
And you end up getting a athletic scholarship was it for football or was it for track and
It
field?
was for track, man.
Track, that's right.
Man, I
You
got
did
a
say
lot
that.
of football offers, but man, like I say, I went to a predominantly black school. Man, my grades wasn't up to par. My attendance wasn't up to par. So the coach from Grambling, I think he was from Jamaica or something, man. Like he felt my story, he felt my pain, so he you know, he guided you know, me, my mama, my grandma, you know, through the process, you know, what I needed to do to get down there as a walk-on and get my scholarship the second semester, you know, and shout out to him. You know, I ain't stay that long, so I don't remember his name, but I just remember how he tried to love on me and be there for me, and I wasn't there. You know, I was on some other shit while I was there, so, you know, but on the back end, I was one of them young niggas from my hood that got opportunity to go showcase my talent, you know, at a big university.
And why did you end up choosing that school there, even though you had football offers and, I don't know, did you have other track and field offers too?
Yeah, I had other track and field offers, but like I say, my grades wasn't up to par. My attendance wasn't up to par. You know, everybody at Jack Yates, shout out to them in my high school, you know, they pulled together for me as much as they can, but on the back end, like I say, it was a lot of things I did in my 9th and 10th grade years that affected me going to, you know, the Iowas, you know, the TCUs, all that. So, but I got, you know, stacks of mail at home, you know, just showing that they was interested. Even when they popping up at the campus, you know, I'm smelling like weed, all that old dumbass shit, you know, just a lot of shit that really blocked, you know, my blessings, and you know, it kind of piped me down, you know, to the person there that meant the most at that time in my life. But I ain't know it. I was, you know, that was fly to us, you know, so I didn't really understand where I was going with my character at the time.
So when it came to choosing that offer at Grambling, was that the best school that made you an offer? Was that the biggest school that made you an offer at that time? Or was that perhaps the best offer out of all the offers that you received?
Man, I'm gonna say that was the offer that fit me. Sam Houston, they was ready to for me to come move in my dorm and all that, but it's like, I mean, Sam Houston, Grambling, I mean, I'm dealing with a town that's known for being racist to people like me, and then I'm you know, on the back end, I got Grambling, a town that's known for embracing people of my skin color. So shit, I went with, you know, where I felt the love was gonna be.
If you would have been a walk-on and you would have gotten that scholarship the second semester, would that have been a full ride?
Man, I'm gonna say it like this, big dog. I walked on to the football team. I was the only person out of like 200 people to make the team. I just ended up catching a drug case and a pistol case, and they kicked me off the team and out the school. But I still stayed there a couple of months, just, you know, doing what I do. Really didn't even want to, you know, leave. Kind of like my feelings was hurt because I know, you know, I was that, you know, I was one of the best athletes in the world. And I just couldn't showcase my talent because of the streets and everything at home that was beating me down.
Were you able to beat those charges?
Shit, I just jumped the state till them hoes beat theyself.
Now, did anyone attend your school end up becoming well-known or famous themselves? Your middle school or your high school?
My boy Joe Young, he played for the Indiana Pacers. He was a high school phenom in my city. Ended up going to Oregon University, U of H University, and ended up playing for the Indiana Pacers. My boy Damion Square, he played for the Chargers right now. He one of their captains. First day I got the Yates. They tried to put me up against them boys and try to make them niggas tear my head off. I ended up scoring a touchdown on their ass first day there. And I forever hold that story to my heart, man, because he in the pros, he in the league. And again, man, like I say, I embrace people I cross that end up being great.
And you have a relationship with both of these people?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just hit square and let them know I'm going to need them for some of the kids that's on my son's football team.
What was his response?
Shit, he told me he got me.
Did you ever take a music class in school?
Mm-hmm.
The band, chorus?
Yeah, I mean, I played some drums or something when I was in elementary. When I got in high school, they had us in some music classes. I mean, I ain't never learned no notes and all that shit, but I was there.
Because they didn't teach it, or you weren't interested, or you weren't taking it
I mean,
serious?
I just was young and I wasn't focused on that. I mean, I felt like, you know, God got me where He want me, you know, and I learned what I need to learn to get here. So on the back end, you know, things that I probably didn't pay attention to, I probably didn't feel like I needed to pay attention to them. I felt like it wouldn't help me in, you know, my afterlife.
What drew you to the drums back then?
Shit, I ain't want to be blowing on no horn, so I told them just give me the easiest thing to play.
You just weren't interested in horns?
Nah, I mean, them people used to look tired as hell blowing them horns.
And any regrets with that? Not going harder with the drums, not taking those music classes serious, or trying to further yourself in those music classes?
Mm-mm. Nah, I got what I needed out of it. I got some rhythm out that shit.
Did any of those classes help with you being a recording artist, or you could have gotten to where you're at musically without
Yeah,
that?
for sure. I mean, it taught me, you know, just tempo, you know, just how to be on beat, you know, how to understand the music. Even I didn't know how to read that shit back then, but I knew how to, you know, be on beat. So, I mean, I think it just taught me even how to listen to your instructor. I had a mean ass teacher, like, nigga just used to be talking crazy shit, but, you know, it just taught me early, man, you know, just listen, pay attention.
You mentioned previously that you were a writer, but were you ever the type that freestyled or battle rapped other classmates?
Now that's something I'm battling with right now, getting back into the industry. You know, managers, you know, my GMs, everybody telling me I need to get familiar with that, and I'm big on, man, I'm about to break the game open and, you know, show them that, bro, I don't have to be able to freestyle. Like, every artist is not that. Like, I don't think great, like, just off the rip. Like, my brain don't operate like that. Like, and I ain't about to try to make me be that. You feel me?
And for time reference, it's March 2021. Now, did you have a song you were promoting back then when you were in school?
Mm-mm. I was, man, I was doing some other shit. I was playing ball, you know. I had a little chick at the time that she was the queen of the school. I thought I was the shit, trying to, you know, make me a little money. I mean, I fell in love with music though. I ain't gonna lie, once life started to hit me after high school, boy, I ain't gonna lie.
Did you participate in any talent shows growing up?
Hell yeah. Well, shit, I remember one in high school, I performed, and the mic, man, nah, not the mic, man, the music, man, the speakers start, you know, we in high school, they don't know about the sound system and all that, so they just got some speakers hooked up. Man, when I tell you I couldn't really hear the music, and it's my first time performing, so, you know, me being a rapper now, I know how that shit go. You know, if you don't really know the song and the music and the system ain't right, you gonna be up there like you don't know what you're doing, and man, that shit happened to me, and still to this day, people be like, boy, you remember when you forgot the words? And I ain't forget the words, it just, shit, I couldn't hear the music. I ain't know where to start.
Was this like an original song you had, or was it a cover of a song back then?
Man, I told you we was ranked #1 in the nation at the time, man, Jack Yates, so the coach, he wanted me to play, you know, that ain't happened. So the school, the principal, Miss Ratliff and Miss Jeffrey, they was like, man, we need a school song, man. Like, these boys #1 in the nation, and we need something to represent them. Can you do it? And shit, I was like, yeah, I can do it. I mean, I wasn't even no rapper. I just, shit, I did it for them though, you know, and I think that's one of the first time that made me realize, you know, I can rap. I can do it on a bigger stage, on a bigger platform, because that was my first time being in front of people rapping.
The talent show where, you know, it didn't go according to plan or how you foresaw, was that just showcasing the talent, or were they actually choosing a winner from that talent show?
Nah, they was just showcasing talent. I mean, when I was in college, I told you I wasn't really going to class, but I make it to some talent shows. I won 2 talent shows.
Original music or a cover or a different talent?
Nah, original music. My music I was making in the dorm room while I was skipping class.
What's the secret? How do you win at a talent show? Maybe somebody watching this about to do a talent show themselves.
You gotta be hard about it, man. That shit gotta be in you, man. Even, you know, when you performing, you know, or you doing your art, whatever you're doing, everything a talent show, you just gotta make people feel you.
When you won these 2 talent shows, was it based on judges or was it crowd participation?
Both.
Is one easier to win than the other? Judges versus crowd participation?
It's the same shit. You just gotta make them feel you.
And when it came to football, I do have a few football questions and track and field questions for you. You did play football, you did do track and field.
Mm-hmm.
Which sport actually came first in your life?
Football.
And why'd you end up doing track and field too?
Man, one of the coaches at the time, Coach Banks, he did a lot for me, man. You know, when my old man got locked up, went to the pen, man, he stepped in, you know, and just, you know, guided me, led me, and he pulled me to the side one day and was like, man, I think you can run track. I think you'll be good at it. And shit, the first time I went out there, I remember somebody saying, man, run like you was running from the laws, man, on Scott Street. And I went out there and I made the newspaper my first time out there running. I ran like 10.7, 10.6 or something in 100. That was like the fastest time in the region at the time or some shit like that.
Now, out of both of these sports, which was actually your personal favorite?
Football. Football, I had been doing it the longest, you know, that's what my heart was. That's what, that's what kept me out the streets, you know, at an early age.
Which sport were you actually better at, though?
I'm gonna say track. Even though football, I was ranked. I was so fast in track, they didn't even really throw it my way in football. Like they knew I was, you know, one of the fastest in the state, in the nation. So they ain't really, they ain't really let me have fun. But track, I got to, race at the biggest high school relays in the world. I got to travel. I got to just, do a few more things that football won't let you do. And then, I was doing it on personal time, and it was a personal, sport for me, not just the relays and shit. You feel me? So I'm gonna say, track.
And what led to football originally?
I mean, my people put me in football. I wanted to play ball at an early age, so shit, them having me at the parks, playing Little League football with all my partners I grew up with. I mean, shit, I fell in love with it.
What position did you play in football?
I was an athlete. They had me on offense, defense, all my life. I mean, everything, really. I played every position it is on the football field, except for center, except for hiking the ball.
Kicker, too? Punter?
Yeah, kicker, punt, I did all that.
Jersey number?
Number 3, number 7.
Any meanings behind those numbers?
Yeah, number 3, I was big on, man, I'm from 3rd Ward, where I'm from. And then I used to like Allen Iverson when I was little, so my basketball number and my football number was number 3. I had braids and shit, so that was my, that was like, bro was like my alter ego or something.
What about 7?
7, man, it's like this, man, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people that got a lot of common sense always told me about that number 7, so I don't know the facts behind it. I just know that number 7 a real number for disciples out here.
And these were numbers you picked or you were given?
Nah, I picked them.
And you did, I believe you said you did varsity in both, correct? Track and field and football?
Yeah.
And track and field, did you specialize in something specific?
Yeah, the 100-meter dash and the 60-meter dash. And I scratch or ankle the relays. They gonna either put me at 1st or 4th.
And you were a starter in each?
Yeah.
When you were on varsity?
Yeah. I was a captain on defense.
How far did the football team go?
I mean, we maybe probably about the 3rd round or something.
Regional, state?
Regional. I mean, the school known for going to state, but the time I was there, our discipline was fucked up. Everybody was in the streets chasing hoes, and we just had some talent. We wasn't really structured and, respecting the game at the time.
And what about track and field? How far did you go competition-wise?
Man, crazy thing about that, man, I had an unfortunate situation happen in my life 2 days before regionals, and I was like the top 2 in the region go to state. I was ranked number 1 in the region, and man, I had a real life-changing situation happen like a day or 2 before I had to get down there. So when I got out there, I couldn't stretch, I couldn't bend down, like tears was just rolling down my eyes. And man, I got out there and ran, and I was about to break, the national record in Texas, and like the whole crowd stood up, and I just pulled up, like my whole body just locked up, and I couldn't even finish the race. And the person who beat me, he ended up going to the NFL. His name Quandre Diggs. He stayed with me the whole time because they know what had just went on in my life. and they knew I was about to break a record, but it just didn't happen like that, man. Like, I forever got, a scar on my body, man, because I know what I was about to do, but, God opens, the same doors for me on another platform.
Are you able to speak on what had happened?
Mm-mm.
And do either of these sports run in your family?
Nah, I say shit. I make it run in my family now. My son, one of the best 6-year-old quarterbacks in the world. He active, really throwing touchdowns out the shotgun. Under center. He a dual quarterback. He know how to pitch read option throw. He know how to read everything, and he know how to run the offense by himself at 6 years old. So definitely, if it don't run in my blood, I'm creating it.
Now, hypothetically speaking, if you would have broke that record, if you would have went to college and took it serious, how far do you think you could have gone with track and field?
Oh, I know for sure I would have been able to represent the U.S. And like I say, I don't know what, but I'm low to the earth, man. I'm a little nigga, so it's like with my body moving how I was moving at the time, I definitely could have took it serious and broke some records, but like I say, what was going on with me at the time, I don't think it could have happened. I'm glad everything happened how it happened, far as timing, and me just trusting my own judgment as a man.
And what school do you end up graduating from?
I ain't graduated. I got kicked out and went back to the hood and started doing music. In high school, I graduated from Jack A's High School.
Well, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
Jack
should have
A's
been more
High
specific.
School.
Yeah, what high school did you end up graduating?
Jack A's High School, the livest high school in America, man. 3rd Ward High.
Now, when you do end up in the college scenario now, where you get these charges and you're not in school anymore, what was your parents' reaction to that?
Oh shit, my mama, her heart was broke, man. She wanted to see me do that. She know, that's what made me happy. She know, without that, I'm coming back to the streets just like it happened.
And looking back, do you wish you would have gotten some sort of college experience under your belt? Do you wish you would have went further with your education?
Nah, man, that college shit is for who it's for. Like, I was one of them that went and I was out of place, man. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna say I was out of place. I probably could have did it, but just, man, everything they gave me, everything they introduced me to, like, I ain't need that shit. Like, I was introduced to numbers at an early age, and college is, again, it's for who trying to do what they doing in their profession that they in. Trying to be a doctor, go be a doctor. You trying to be a lawyer, go be a lawyer. Me, I wanted to run the streets and make a name for myself and touch these young niggas out here in the world, and do it the fastest way possible and, the strongest way possible. Basically, like, I wanted to touch a lot of people, just ain't know how I was gonna do it, and music the best way.
If you could turn back the hands of time, would you have done anything different out of all the aspects we talked about here?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, some shit that I probably correct or probably, fuck my life up. So, I mean, we all can, try to go back and do it the right way, but it ain't gonna be the same book.